The campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial, but you're at the Hotel Bel Air. So kind of undo that for us.
I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. They burned it down. That is why I got into this race, because of these people that will burn your house down and act like it's no problem.
The man's house got burned down. Y'all act like he actually lives over here. He lived right there where that house was at. Let me show you something that should outrage every American. These pills can end a pregnancy, and this isn't Plan B. This is a chemical abortion pill. And today, they can be ordered online and delivered straight to your mailbox. No doctor's office, no clinic, just a few clicks and abortion shows up at your front door. That means it's not across the town anymore. It's just a few feet away in your home or your neighborhoods. And while the abortion industry is making it easier than ever to end a life, Save the Storks is working to make it easier for women to choose life. Because sometimes the most powerful thing that we can do is very simple. Let life happen. They send medical mobile clinics into communities so women can see their baby, get real support, and know they're not alone. But they need people like you to step up. Here's the truth. Women in your community, even at your church, are ordering these pills online. They need your help. So the question is, how will you respond? For just $10 a month, this is super simple and easy. You can help Save the Storks reach women before the pill ever arrives in the mailbox. Hope should arrive before abortion pill does. Go to SaveTheStorks.org/Tatum right now and become a monthly supporter like my family, or DM no pill for the link. Because when abortion can be delivered overnight, it's time that we deliver hope even faster. Let's play what TMZ had to say about him, and also we're gonna get to the VER, because they stupider than two left shoes on a three-legged man. Roll the clip.
The campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial, but you're at the Hotel Bel Air. So kind of undo that for us.
No, to be clear, that is where, excuse me, that is where I live. That's where Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, burned down my house. That is where I will live until I have a new house. The Airstream is a temporary facility. A hotel is a temporary facility. Where my kids are in Santa Barbara right now is a temporary housing. This is where I live, as this is where they burned my house down. So this semantics or the nuance of this is the consequences of their failed leadership. And again, I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. They burned it down. That is why I got into this race, because of these people that will burn your house down and act like it's no problem. So this idea that anyone's like, oh, he's at a hotel. I'm at a hotel because these psychopaths are messaging me every day. They're going to kill me because Nithya Raman is calling me a fascist because I don't want people to have their kids next to drug addicts at the park or stepping in human poop when you get your matcha. I have common sense. That's not fascism. So these psychos here, I'm a fascist, and then they literally, like, if you would like to see the death threats, I can send them all offline where people are like, I'm going to hire people to kill you. So yes, unfortunately, now I have a security team, and they will not, even if I wanted to stay in the Airstream, would let me, because there's 360 unobstructed views since there's no houses. So you can literally snipe me out from any part from 300 yards away easily.
Spencer,
one sec. Not to mention the Airstream, it took over a month for LADWP to connect a wire for electricity to it, which was 3 days ago. It took weeks to get the water hooked up, which was yesterday. So for these people that want to focus on where I sleep at night, first off, I don't even sleep. I get 4 hours of sleep because I'm fighting these corrupt freaking politicians all day long. You want to see my phone hours? I'll screenshot it. It probably says
Spencer,
19 hours.
They continue. I don't want to talk much. They continue. Listen to what he said. Genuine, authentic articulation of why he's running, and he cleared it up. What are you saying? He don't live in a hotel. That's not his home. He owns the property that they burned down. Where is he supposed to sleep? On a beanbag? He's campaigning. He has to go somewhere and campaign. If you want to take a shower and you want his whole family to live in that stream, he has to move around. It should have been done. But they continue. Roll the clip.
I hear what you're saying, and on the symbolism of your ad that because of the fire that you don't have a home, and I get that. But there's something to the point where you say in the ad, this is where I live, while you're standing in front of a trailer. I think the reason that ad was so effective with voters is because you did draw this visual comparison of where the mayor lives, where Nithya Raman lives, and where you live. So you're showing where they live, and then you're saying, this is where I live. Everyone saw that ad and thought, wow, Spencer Pratt has to live in that trailer because his house burned down.
I do, sir.
But
that is my house.
But for the last month and a half, you've been at the Bel Air Hotel.
I haven't been at the Bel Air Hotel for more than 6 days in the last month. This is all public on my things.
But that's where you've been staying. I know you may not have actually been in it.
No, I've been in Santa Barbara, where the LA Times reported where I lived and doxed me. That is where I live, period. This is LA Times. This isn't breaking news. Even when the Airstream ad came out, the LA Times cover story is saying, no, Spencer Pratt lives in Santa Barbara. And I said, yes, thank you for doxing me. I tried to sue the LA Times for saying where I actually live.
But but are you saying you live in that trailer?
I don't live anywhere, is what I'm saying. I don't have a house. They burned it down, Harvey. I don't have a house.
But why not say that? But Spencer, that would be really effective. Why not say that in the ad? I don't have a home.
You texted me today. I have never told anyone I lived in it. And yet in the ad you say, this is where I live.
This is my house. This is my property. There's nothing there, Harvey. It's dirt lot. I had to have it craned in to the lot. That's what people are. This is psycho. I only got on this live because I love you. But so last time I'm going to talk about this, because the reason I am running is because they burned down 7,000 houses. This is where everyone lives. They don't not consider that their home just because it's a dirt lot, because it's an Airstream, a teepee, a tent. When you're a fire victim, this is where you live. They burn it down. This is where I always will live. People are missing the messaging of the consequences.
I don't know how they don't understand that. It's his home. This is where he lives. This is address. This is where everything. It got burned down. So temporarily, y'all could talk to this man about so much other stuff. Temporarily, he got to go stay in Santa Barbara. He got to go stay at a hotel. He's got a campaign. The man got to do all kinds. Kids got to go to school and stuff. What are y'all saying? Why are we even talking about? The man's house got burned down. Y'all act like he actually lives over here. He lived right there where that house was at until they burnt it down. All right, Spencer, I think it's one more clip and then we're going to move on.
And if people care about this right now, we're in so much trouble, and I'm going to do my best to try to save LA. But if people don't get out and vote because they want to feel safe, and that's what I'm fighting for people to feel safe and their tax money to literally go to making us safe and the people to get housed and people not to die on the street, that's the message. So this does not matter. That is where I live, period. And I'll live in LA as long as I have that dirt lot. The Airstream is imaginary to me. I live in that dirt, in my ashes. That's what I fight for. So I love you guys. Keep posting me. Please use better photos. God bless you.
Thanks, Spencer.
How do you not like the guy? And then look at Karen Bass, sorry, Ash. Look at Karen Bass. Like the energy of the two separate individuals should tell you everything you need to know. How do you guys in LA feel comfortable with this nappy head woman? And I'm not saying nappy head because she really got nappy hair. Look at that. Look at stuff in her head. How do y'all feel comfortable and confident that this woman is competent enough to run it? When all of your problems that you recognize in LA, these people are running LA. Have you guys not put two and two together and say, I want something different? Like, we can't keep going on like this. LA is not improving. It's not improving by any measure. Here's Karen Bass and The View losing their socks over Spencer Pratt. Roll the clip.
But what's worrying me now is that his social media is now taking on a violent turn.
Violent.
And that worries me, because when you do that and when your messages are so hateful, or when you demonize people, then you do provoke people who are unstable, and you can jeopardize people's safety.
You mean like the throwing of the tomatoes?
Well, the throwing of the tomatoes, which look like blood, or drowning me and the governor in a reservoir. But there's also other violent scenes. And so I've noticed that, that it's taking on a violent trend.
Throwing tomatoes, it looks like blood. Well, tomatoes are red, okay? Like, it's a symbolism of throwing tomatoes. When people are doing a bad job, boo, you guys are not performing, you throw tomatoes at them. What are we talking about? That's a traditional, I wouldn't say iconic, but it's a traditional form of saying we disapprove of your behavior. And so when they're performing and the people in the crowd are like, this is sucky performance, they throw tomatoes. That's why you see, this is where they get the concept, you know how you review the movies and you have the Rotten Tomato ratings. That's where they get the whole concept from. And they know this, but they want to frame it as violence. It's clearly an AI video, so it's fake, and they're not shooting anybody. There's no real violence in that video. Even when he's a superhero, he's just throwing guys out of the way. He's throwing guys to this side. He's not beating them. They're not dying. There's no violence here, y'all. It's all made up BS. Because you know what's going to happen? Is people not going to watch the video. People are not going to look into it. And they're going to put in their mind that there's actually violence going on in these AI videos.